Nowadays, it's really easy to overeat food. That's just the truth, okay? There's hyper-processed, hyper-palatable, really tasty foods out there, and they don't satisfy you either nutritionally or like physically or whatever. You know, there's a lot of those foods out there that you just can't seem to get enough of. You can fall victim to overeating over a long period of time, and you look at yourself in the mirror after a few months, and at first you don't notice it, but then you're fat. You know, you have a little bit more pudge than you want. You know, your face is a little bit more puffy. You know, your jawline isn't as sharp, or whatever that may be. I noticed this it was in January of this year. I looked at myself and I noticed that I was not where I wanted to be, you know, physically. I'll probably like pull up a picture of my physique then. It was bad. I was trying to bulk, but I kept just overeating the food. You know, like I was trying to count my calories and whatnot, but I was overeating by like maybe 1,000 calories a day. You know, it's ridiculous. And I didn't really feel satisfied by the foods I was eating. And it was low-key, it was honestly a struggle to get back to a place of, you know, where I'm in relatively good health. I'm leaner, you know, I can actually move, I'm more athletic, that kind of thing. It took me a while to get back to where I wanted to be, but it's because, you know, I made intentional changes and I stopped overeating that really allowed me to get back to where I am now. And I'm to a point to where I actually have to eat more to maintain my body weight, because I'm doing more, you know, physical activity and stuff like that, which is nice. Because at the end of the day, I still do like to eat food. You know, it's just with the changes I've made, it's a bit more controlled now. With this advice that I'm about to talk to you about, if you need help implementing it, go click the first link down in the description. If you trust me by the end of the video, you know, I can coach you, help you out, and we can work together on that. Anyways, so the first thing that I really did to stop overeating was I changed up the way I ate food, okay? I stopped eating processed junk, okay? I'm not the kind of person that can really do stuff in moderation, you know, and there's probably gonna be some people like, oh, you just have an addictive person. Like, shut the fuck up, bro. Oh my God, this is so dumb. Like, the food, like, junk food is designed to make you want to eat more, okay? So most people are gonna have a hard time eating that stuff in moderation. So my suggestion is just to completely cut it out. I've completely changed my diet. I eat only non-processed food. Sometimes I think about eating processed food, but then I think about how awful it made me feel before and how great I feel now. And then that kind of just turns me off from the notion of eating, you know, sugary bullshit that makes me not satisfied at all, right? So yeah, non-processed food, that's honestly like the biggest thing, is just not eating like junk food anymore, you know. And yeah, I mean, it's helped me so much, because you chew more of the food because it's real. It's not like soft squishy stuff, so you have more time to send satiety signals to your brain and to your body, because chewing does that. And it's also more nutritious, and your stomach and your gut has receptors in them that kind of tell you how much nutrition you're getting out of your food, and kind of tells your brain if you should eat more or not. So if you eat whole real food that's nutritious, it's gonna say, oh, okay, well, this he's eating, you know, real food now, so he doesn't need to eat as much, right? I think that's honestly the biggest factor whenever it comes to not overeating, is just cutting out the junk food. Because whenever you eat the junk food, it's gonna, you know, mess up your blood sugar, mess up your insulin, whatever. It's gonna completely screw your satiety signals, and it's gonna mess you up, okay? And you're gonna overeat just naturally, because your body is just going insane. Because again, these foods are designed for you to overeat them, so you buy more, right? Like these people, they've literally paid scientists to make the food addictive, to make the food as non-satisfying as possible, to make it as like absolutely hijacking to your brain and to your taste buds as possible. And yeah, that's, you know, it's cool because it tastes good, but it absolutely just messes with you as a human being. If you want to get healthy, then that's not something you should be consuming on a regular basis. So yeah, that's the biggest thing, is whole foods. The next thing that I would say is a big factor is just to stop snacking. So eating real, whole, nutritious food that, you know, fills you up for a while is going to help. But stopping snacking for me also has really helped. So this really just comes from being like busy and not being bored around the house, and just looking in the fridge. I wonder what's in here. Like like you're bound to eat something if you look in the fridge enough times, dude. Like, so really removing snacking from your life and just getting out, right? Like I'm in nature, right? Well, kind of nature. I'm out and about right now. Okay, I'm not close to food. You know, I don't have like snackies in my car or whatever. You know, I try and avoid snacking as much as possible, and I just try and have, you know, just big meals, because again, I like to eat food, right? Like I like to eat. So having like big meals where I eat whole nutritious food that really satisfies me, then I'm good to go, right? Like I didn't eat breakfast this morning, but I'm chilling because I had like a huge dinner last night, and you know, I'm still kind of working through that. So I didn't really need to eat breakfast this morning, and it's good. So yeah, just removing snacking of any kind. Like most of the snacks nowadays are also like ultra processed crap that are gonna, you know, tack on extra, you know, like just mass on your body. So there's really no point in snacking as long as you get, you know, whole nutritious meals. And I get it if you want to snack a little bit, you know, like, oh, I have a little bit of bacon here and there, like whatever, like that's fine. I kind of touched on it a little bit there of just being busy and not being around food as much, but like deprioritizing food and not having it have such a high, you know, stake in your life. Get it? That's fun. Anyways, having it not be such a big deal in your life really helps, you know, just not have such like, oh, I need to eat this food or whatever. It's just kind of a thing that you do. Along those lines is also this idea of just eating for function over taste. You know, a lot of people, whenever you talk about, oh, you know, I'm on this diet, they're like, oh, but don't you have any fun in your life? That's kind of like a crack addict saying like, oh, you know, you don't have any fun in your life, you don't have any stimulation, like whatever. It's essentially the same thing, because, you know, food addiction can be a real thing, just like drug addiction. And you know, you don't have to have fun through food. You can have fun through other things, like sports, like trampoline parks, like competition. There's lots of things that you can do to have fun in your life. It's like you can go to a comedy show or something to stimulate you. You don't have to have, you know, some sugary nonsense that makes you fat and feel bad afterwards to have fun, right? So eat for function over taste. That's kind of my philosophy now with the way I eat personally. Is, you know, I don't eat for taste. The food that I eat tastes really good, but there's not a lot of like variety in taste. It's like umami and salt. You know, that's basically all I get from the foods that I eat. I don't eat any sugar. I don't eat, you know, nonsense stuff, right? So I get umami and salt. That's the two tastes that I get, right? But it tastes good when I do eat those, but it's not like that big of a deal. Those are the things that have really helped me, you know, stop overeating food. And that's just how I stopped overeating, is I stopped eating junk food. I really stopped snacking a lot. I stopped snacking nearly as much, and I deprioritized food from my life. I eat for function over taste. So yeah, your action step for this video, because I think, you know, getting rid of junk food is probably the biggest lever in terms of overeating. So your action step for this video is, how can you reduce the amount of junk food that you eat? I'm not saying you need to cut it out completely, but how can you change the way you eat to where you're not eating nearly as much junk food as you were before? Is it, you don't eat junk food? Because I think this is a very possible goal, is you reduce your junk food percentage to maybe, less than 20% of your diet. Because now the average American, 70% of their food is ultra processed food. If you can reduce that down to 20%, you're doing great. I'll be honest. If you can get that down to 0%, you're doing amazing. But let's just try and reduce it down. Okay? It doesn't have to be, instant cold turkey. Just try and gradually reduce it down. Start changing up foods. Just write a plan out on how you'll implement it, on how you can change your diet in the next week, right? And how you can actually stick to it. Not any of this cold turkey, BS nonsense. I'm only going to eat chicken and rice for the next 3 months, and I'm going, there's some people that can do that. That's fine. I'm not one of those people that can, just switch their diet instantly. For me to get to where I am personally, it took me a couple months to transition to where I'm at right now. So, just write out an action plan. How can you reduce the amount of junk food that you eat? How can you, cut out snacking, whatever? How can you stop overeating? Write out an action plan and how you're going to implement it. And, maybe write it in the comments so you can have some accountability. But yeah, that's your action step. If you want help in implementing that action step, or just, getting healthier, getting to a more athletic, fitter version of you, again, go click the first link down in the description. I can help you out with that. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one, man. If you like what I'm saying, go subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Be better and have a W day.